Hey guys, Coach Becca here, and welcome to my body weight session. No equipment needed today. We're going to get started here with a two-way ankle stretch. So just go ahead and hop down into the kneeling position, and your goal is to keep your heel on the floor and press your knee as far forward as you're able to without feeling any type of pain. So what we're stretching here is the Achilles, which I pointed to, but if you even want to place a hand there just to kind of remind yourself what you're stretching, that's just fine. And we're going to hit our second angle now. So just kind of rotate that front knee forward. And now you're almost leaning laterally. Again, just trying to get your ankle to flex as much as possible and push your body weight into that ankle stretch. Pushing that knee forward. Again, trying to get as much ankle flexion as possible. Holding for about 30 seconds in each stretch. So it's a total of 60 seconds per side. Let's hit the other side. Start kneeling, both the knees straight ahead. And both my pups, anytime our fireplace is on, will make an appearance. So you'll see them today. Again, you're trying to flex at your ankle as much as possible, using your body weight to push into that ankle joint and make it flex as much as possible versus extend as much as possible. So now we've rotated the non-stretching hip to the side, and we're just kind of shifting our weight laterally. Kind of a funky one. You can always just hold the forward stretch if this one feels too weird. But again, try to get the ankle to flex as much as you can. Use your body weight. And if it feels good, hold it there. You're in charge of the stretches. If it feels good, you're probably doing it right. All right, hip flexor hold. So hold on to something for stability. I'm going to hold on to the chimney beside me. I'm going to flex at my hip. As you can see, I pulled my knee up even higher passively. And now I let go and I'm holding that hip flexion. So I'm kind of strengthening my hip flexor here. This one also works on balance. As you can see, it's a pretty tough thing to hold for 10 to 20 seconds. Let's try the other side. Again, use something to stabilize you. Try to pull your knee into deeper hip flexion, and then I'm clenching my fists and holding. If you need to continue hold on to something, that's fine. Obviously, this is more ideal if your balance is there, but everyone's different. So do what you can do, and you're just pulling that knee towards the ceiling. So again, your goal is 10 to 20 seconds. Every time you do it, ideally holding longer, holding higher. All right, bring one hand overhead, spread the feet out outside the shoulders. Keep your fist over your shoulder, and you're rotating at your hips and in your spine and even a little bit in your shoulders here. So you're reaching between the legs. Notice my top hand here. I try to keep that over my shoulder joint. So my fist rotates. I rotate through my spine and reach between my legs. Great kind of everything stretch here. We're doing 5 a side. I like to inhale down, exhale, and punch up. You could do this holding a tennis ball if you'd like, but today we're just kind of mobilizing everything. It's kind of a little bit of an everything type of day. Switch sides, reach the hand up, make a fist, pulling that hand or that shoulder into the joint. It's almost like you're using your lat to really pull in and anchor that fist above your shoulder. And then the spine and hips get a nice rotation stretch. Hamstrings probably feel the love. If you're holding on to something, your shoulder is going to feel some love. This is just a feel-good kind of everything mobility stretch I put in almost every one of my workouts. So if you're new to my workouts, welcome. If you've been doing them for a while, that's one that'll be familiar. Okay, balance reach to overhead. So I'm going to start with level 1. Level 1, you're going to keep both feet on the ground, hinge at your hips, soften your knees, and reach overhead. So see how most of my weight's on my front leg. I'll show you from the front, and maybe a little bit of weight on the back leg. So just kind of reaching overhead as you hinge. That's level 1. Rock those out if that's level 1 is good for you. Level 2, that back leg is going to come off the ground. Let me show you from the front. Reach. So you're reaching overhead, trying to line your fingertips up with your toes. This is working stability. Level 3, you get to pull your knee into a balanced pull. So I'm going to do 5 of these bad boys. But you pick whatever level is good for you. It's probably going to be a total, if you've been doing all the levels, 8 to 10 a side. This is working ankle, knee, and hip stability, as well as some hip mobility. By adding the overhead arms in, you're also working a little bit of extension in the arms, so a little bit of shoulder mobility. and it just makes it a little bit more challenging. Okay, so we're going to the other side now. Level 1, just boom. Level 2, a little harder here. And level 3, we're going to pull that knee through to make it even more challenging. Soft knee, hip flexion, extension. Lovely stuff going on here. Love this one for a runner, but I also love it for a swimmer because it's a little bit of body position work. And I don't mind it for a cyclist with that knee pull. So if you're a triathlete like myself, or a single sport athlete, or if you're just a mom or a grandma or a dad or a grandpa trying to keep their balance up to keep up with the kids, this one works for just about everybody in every sport. Okay, on all fours, you can see my camera slipping a little bit. So we're gonna cut to a new angle soon. But we got cat-cow here. This one's just good spine mobility. You've got a lot of vertebrae in your spine. So avoid doing this really fast and working just a few vertebrae. Go slow, inhale, and just feel every vertebrae working there. And then as you exhale, feel all the good stuff, just mobilizing that spine. Work at a pace that works for you. I usually try to do 5 to 8. So use this time in this space just to kind of touch base with where your spine is. Get your chin and neck going as you feel able. None of this should be painful. It should all feel really good. And our goal is to have a really mobile spine. Cut to a new day because my camera was slipping and the lighting's better. So here we are. Let's just get right to it. This next one is really good for your hips. So you're going to get your body into a 90-90 position where the front knee's at 90 degrees and the back knee's at 90 degrees. If you want to sit on a pillow, you may. What we're going to do is keep our core really strong and just anchor our hips. And as we reach our fingertips over that front leg, our goal is to reach towards the floor as slowly as we can and to make this as much of a hip drill as possible. We don't want to feel this in our lower back or spine, but you might also feel those things. Once your hips or spine can't really control the pace any longer, just plant the hands on the ground and hold that stretch. And take a couple deep breaths because the way back up is going to be just as hard. Okay, make those hands back into blades, anchor those hips in, and use your hip muscles to pull yourself back up. And you'll feel some icky, crampy stuff in the hips if you do it well. If that was too fast, hit rewind and do it again. Okay, cross at the arms, and now you're just going to rotate your shoulders towards your back knee and hold that nice spine rotation stretch for 15, 20 seconds. Lovely. Let's hit a couple 90-90s. So the hips just stay in 90-90 position. Again, if this is too much for your hips, put a pillow under your tush and make it work for you. Just a couple, just to switch sides. Okay, and now we're just positioning ourselves in the 90-90, front knee at 90, back knee at 90, hands and blades. Let's hit the other side. Again, anchor those hips in. Pull the tush to the floor. Squeeze the glutes. Slowly reach over that front leg with the floor as your target. Again, using those hip muscles, using those glutes, anchor yourself in. It's going to be a little uncomfortable here. Not painful, just, if you're doing this, you know what I mean. You feel the love in the hips. And then just fold into that stretch. Take a couple deep breaths, recharge, because we're going to have to pull ourselves back up, and that's going to require some hip muscles, some glutes, some trunk, okay? Hands back into blades. Pull yourself back up as slowly as you can. I didn't use good discipline there. Probably could have gone a little slower, but I just got off my bike, so it is what it is. Cross at the arms, cross arms at the shoulders, Rotate towards the back heel and just give that trunk some love. Whew. That's harder than it looks, y'all, so hang in there. Okay, good stuff. We're going to do a hammy stretch, so just a forward bend. You don't have to touch the toes. You can reach towards the knees. Hands go behind, open the chest, drive the hips. Back to hamstring stretch. Give the lower back and hamstrings love. Take a deep breath or two. Hands behind, drive the hips. And this is another feel-good energizer that I like to do. It's a good stretch, but it also opens things up. Hands behind, drive the hips, squeeze the tush. We're just trying to make everything feel good today. Doing about 5 of these. Excellent. All right, here comes our next one, tripod with a bonus. So bring your knees to 90 degrees, one hand behind you, one arm ready to go towards the sky. You're gonna drive your hips, keeping your knees over the ankles, turn your palm and reach overhead, and then bring it down. Watch it again. We're gonna switch sides. Drive the hips, reach with the other hand up, turn the palm, reach overhead, and reset. You're switching sides every time, so it's just a tripod. Turn the palm overhead stretch, back to the floor. So the knees are at 90 degrees. Position your feet so that it works for you. If it's uncomfortable, try bringing your feet apart or away from you more. You're switching hands, reaching up, turning, reaching overhead. If you're a swimmer, it's a great drill for backstroke. If you're a cyclist, it's great to kind of unkink all that bad posture you get from being on a bike. It just feels good at this one. So get in your own rhythm. I'm doing 10 total, alternating every time. Great hip extension drill. Opens things up. Gives you a stretch. Gives your muscles a little squeeze. Great for shoulders, spine, hips. You name it, we're working it. This shouldn't be painful or uncomfortable. That one should have felt pretty good, but it'll get the heart rate up a pinch. All right, so we're just going to go through this little yoga flow that I've been into lately. So start with a hammy stretch. Walk those hands out. We're going to get into the lovely downward facing dog. So you should feel a stretch in your hamstrings, calves, and your shoulders here. And now we're just going to pedal those calves out. Give them a little extra stretch. So it's just one leg at a time, giving it some love. Feel your calf, hamstrings stretch. Play around with pushing your chest towards the floor, giving your lats an extra stretch. And let's get into the next little flow. Here, we'll do this a couple times. Slowly drop the hips and go into upward facing dog. Flatten out the ankles into extension. And here I'm just going to circle my neck each direction. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It just was what I felt like doing, so I'm doing it. From here, we're going to bend at the elbows. Press down, press back up. Get a little tricep push-up in. Squeeze the glutes, curl the toes underneath, lift the hips. We're back to where we started with downward facing dog. And we're just going to do that again, y'all. Downward dog to upward dog. Flatten out the toes, pull the shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to give it a little look left, look right action here before bringing my elbows back. Doing a push-up back up. Curling the toes under, driving my hips up. Downward facing dog. Big stretch here. Make it feel good. And last round here, upward dog. Flatten out those ankles. Little up-down action with the neck if you feel it. If not, that's okay. Elbows go back. A little tricep push-ups here. Nothing too strenuous. Pull the ankles back into flexion. Drive the hips. Last little stretch here. Walk the toes in. Very good. And slowly bring it up. All right. And I wanted to give you one more shoulder exercise. I've been into this one. If you've done shoulder cars with me in the past, here's a new angle for you. Lay on your side. Your top arm is the one we're going to circle. Palm faces up. We're going to reach overhead. Rotate your palm at the top. Reach into your back pocket. Bring it back up at the highest point. Rotate the palm again, and you're back to your starting position. I'll show you from a different angle just in case it kind of helps you. So here we go. Palm faces up, reach overhead. Rotate the palm at the top. Reach into the back pocket. Again, slow and controlled. CAR stands for controlled articular rotation. So we're just trying to rotate at the joint with control. Let's do it again. I feel like laying on the side, gravity just kind of helps pull things into a different kind of feel as opposed to standing or on all fours. So I like to just circle in different angles. And let's try the other side. If you prefer the standing shoulder car or the car on the wall, that's fine. Again, we're going to work the top arm. Palm faces up, reach overhead. Like to inhale there if you think about it. Rotate the palm and reach into the back pocket. Again, shoulder mobility, main thing we're working here. And then you just rotate the way you It's kind of just a mirror movement, rotating the palm at the top. 3 to 5 per side each day keeps shoulder injuries away. If you're a swimmer, very specific to backstroke. If you are in a throwing sport like baseball, this will work. I'll show you one more from the side here. This will also avoid kind of throwing your shoulder out with a simple movement like pushing your kids on a swing or reaching back or putting groceries away up high or something like that. So there's functional applications that don't necessarily require you to be an athlete that this could help you with. It also feels amazing. So don't overthink it. It's a simple rotation movement at the shoulder. Lovely. All right, this one's awesome. It's kind of like open book stretch. So if you've done open book, all you're doing is arms out to the side, palms down, and you're going to do 4 over and backs with the knees. So here's number 3 and 4. You're just laying your knees side to side, keeping them at 90 degrees. Bring it to center, and now we're going to do 4 dead bugs. So bring the arms up, extend the right leg and right arm, and then the left leg and right arm. Sorry, same arm, same leg. This one's confusing. So if you've never done a dead bug before, take it slow. And then we're going to go back to the lower back mobility for 4, 3, just side to side, 2, give that lower back some love, and 1. Bring it to center. Let's do 4 dead bugs for 4. Extend the right arm, right leg, left arm, left leg. 3, there's 2, and 1. Let's do one more circuit. Arms to the side. Lay the legs to the side for 4, 3, you've got it. 2, and 1. And last set of dead bugs here. Arms up, legs at center. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If it's your first time doing dead bugs, I apologize. I didn't go into great detail on how to do those. But glute bridge, bring your hips up off the floor. We're going to do 4 chest flies, just body weight. Open the palms up and close. Just keep the hips up towards the sky. Working your glutes and core. Okay, now bring your hands to center, and we're going to do gator chomp. So palms up, rotate at the top. So one arm goes overhead, one hand goes down. And it's just always palms up. Gator chomps. Okay, back to chest flies. We're going to do it again. Don't worry, 3 rounds. There's 3. Chest fly 2. Chest fly 1. Bring your hands to center. Gator chomps for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last set of chest flies. Open and close laterally. 4, 3, 2. Keeping those hips up. 1, palms to center. One hand goes overhead. One hand goes down. Palms always face up. Last 2 and last 1. Excellent. Good job, you guys. Okay, that's all I have for you today. You're done. Good work. Thanks for tagging along with me. Hope to see you guys again soon, and have a great rest of your day.